Hello everybody, Killer Ones in here, and today I will be doing with Deku was Tristan part 12. So in the last part, Deku and Dahlia just basically passed through the first two phases of the UA Sports Festival. Now, continuing the story, whenever the second phase ended, or should I say, whenever the cavalry battle ended, Midnight would have announced to everyone that the final phase is going to be the 1v1 matches. Her noticing that they are one person short from an even number. So let's say there is just going to be a number drawing contest. Basically, everyone that didn't make it through the second phase will be able to pick a number, them writing them down on a piece of paper and putting them in a box. As Midnight would have put her hand inside the box and picked a number, which she picked Uraraka, so she gets to go to the final phase. Now, after that drawing contest, it will be time for the first battle between Deku and Shinzo. And just like the anime, whenever the match started, Shinzo would have started to badmouth the entire Class 1A, which Deku is just confused because he doesn't know why Shinzo is doing that. But whenever Shinzo talked about Dahlia, Deku would have said, "What did you just say?" With Shinzo saying, "Gotcha." Deku being confused as his entire body, he just can't move his entire body. Deku being confused and thinking, why can't I move? Wait, is this his quirk? But whenever Deku thought that, he would have saw a flashback. Deku being in an entirely different place, because there the sky is completely red. The ground is rocky and spiky. Its color is reddish black. And not only that, Deku looks around and sees that this entire place looks like a war zone. As that was when Deku would have started to look around even more, him finding a, portal. Him being even more confused as he would start to walk closer to the portal. Him basically seeing Meliodas, Elizabeth, and, himself. More specifically, Deku is seeing himself at the age of 3 years old, because I reckon his age to be 3 years old on, part 10. With Deku hearing Elizabeth asking Meliodas what he just did, to which Meliodas would just say that he sealed Tristan's memories away. With Deku after getting a bit of his memories back, he would know that Meliodas is talking to, himself. As Deku would have saw that Meliodas is covering his right hand with darkness. Him putting the hand on 3 years old Deku's right arm. Deku being confused as he would hear Meliodas say, "Don't worry Tristan, I'll always be here." As Meliodas would have moved his hand from Tristan's, or should I say Deku's arm, towards his forehead. Him putting his finger on Deku's forehead. As that was when the flashback would have ended. This, of course, leaving Deku very confused. But that was when Shinzo would have ordered Deku to basically walk out of the arena. Deku seeing that his body is not reacting to himself and is reacting to what Shinzo just said, he would start to try and fight it. Him trying to think of ways to get back his body. Deku thinking, "Come on Izuku, take back your body, come on!" It not working, as Deku would have tried over and over again to try and take back his body. But even though Deku tried his best, it still didn't work. And before his body can walk off stage, or well, walk off the arena, Deku would have remembered what the fake Meliodas that was in his head said. Him thinking, really? Believing in yourself, you say? Are you sure that is even correct? I've been trying that for 10 times. And this will be the last time I'm trying, because if this doesn't work, I am going to lose. So, I am believing you can help me, right? Right? Then let me use you. As right before Deku steps out of the arena, that was when his left eye would start to glow, with this light shining brighter and brighter, it engulfing Deku and shining through the entire stadium. As whenever the light started to disappear, everyone would have saw that Deku has already turned around and his left eye having a symbol, with Deku saying, "Thank you." Shinzo hearing that being confused, with Deku just lifting his hands up and saying, "Wait, what was that called again? Oh yeah, arc." As that was when some light particles would have appeared right in front of Shinzo. Shinzo being even more confused since he thought that his quirk is, darkness. And whenever Shinzo was being confused, that light particle would have exploded. This, of course, sending Shinzo flying back and out of the arena, which would have shocked everyone, since just like Shinzo, everyone thought that Deku's quirk is, full counter and darkness. As Midnight would have announced to everyone that Deku is the winner, with the rest of the matches being mostly the same. The only differences is that Dahlia is taking Kaminari's place, so she is fighting Ibarra. It beginning with Dahlia telling Ibarra that she is not going to hold back, and that Ibarra is going to lose, to which Ibarra would immediately start to manipulate her hair, or should I say her vines. And while Ibarra was manipulating her hair, Dahlia would have put both of her hands on the ground, as the floor underneath Dahlia would just turn into quicksand, her immediately sinking into the ground, as that was when the vines that Ibarra ordered are, underneath Dahlia, them immediately shooting out of the ground and trying to wrap itself around Dahlia. But before the vines can even touch Dahlia, Dahlia would have immediately jumped off the way and basically backflip off the way, her jumping over the vines and just landing back onto the ground. As whenever she did, Ibarra's entire, body would have been stuck into the ground, or in the ground. The only thing that's not in the ground is her head. But since Ibarra's hair is basically touching the ground, she would have continued to try and defeat Dahlia by manipulating more vines. But before she can actually do that, President Mike would have announced that Dahlia is the winner, since one of the conditions for winning a match is to render your opponent unable to move. And because that Dahlia made Ibarra fall into the ground and stuck there, Ibarra can't move, so Dahlia wins. Now after the first round, it would have been the quarterfinals, with the first match of the quarterfinals being Todoroki versus Deku. And let's say whenever Deku was going towards the waiting room, he would have encountered Endeavor. With Endeavor, just like the enemy, basically telling Deku to make Todoroki use his fire side. To which Deku would just say, "Sorry, Endeavor, I don't take orders from anyone except my master, my mom, and my teachers. And since you're not one of my teachers, you can order me to do whatever you want, but I won't follow them." As Deku would just turn around and continue to walk towards the waiting room. This, of course, enraging Endeavor, him immediately reaching his hand out and trying to grab Deku's shoulder. Him doing so, and whenever Endeavor put his hand on Deku's shoulder with, well, let's say negative intent, Deku would have disappeared right in front of Endeavor, this confusing Endeavor, as Deku would have reappeared right behind Endeavor, him grabbing Endeavor by his other hand and saying, "I know what you're trying to do, Endeavor. I wouldn't do that if I were you. But if you do, you will regret it." With Deku's demon mark appearing on his forehead, him also releasing a bit of bloodlust, and by a bit I mean enough to scare even Endeavor. As Endeavor, feeling Deku's murderous intent, he would have been both surprised and, well, a bit scared, with Deku just letting go of Endeavor and continuing to walk back towards the waiting room. Now, after this interaction, it will be time for the match between Deku and Todoroki, with both of them having to walk up into the arena. And whenever they did, President Mike would have yelled, "Go!" or well, "Start!" as the match would have began, with Todoroki being the first one to make a move, him firing a wave of ice pillars towards Deku, to which Deku would just jump out of the way and using his left hand would have fired a ball of Hellblaze straight towards Todoroki. Todoroki, seeing that, would have sent a wave of ice towards that ball of Hellblaze to try and stop it. But the Hellblaze would just melt through every single one of those ice pillars. Todoroki, after seeing that his ice pillars are doing nothing, he would have tried to jump out the way, him doing so, as Deku would have yelled, "Is this the best you can do, Todoroki? I expected more from the son of the second hero." With Todoroki yelling back saying, "Shut up! I am no son of that bastard." Him putting his hands on the ground as more ice would have shoot out of the ground. Deku, seeing the wave of ice coming towards him, he would have used Rebellion and created a sword out of darkness, him just swinging the sword around as he would have used full counter, as the ice that was thrown at him would have been reflected back towards Todoroki. With Todoroki seeing that, he would have created a wall of ice right in front of himself to try and save himself. But that wouldn't have been enough, as that wall of ice would have been basically broken through, with Todoroki being sent flying back. But before he can actually get sent flying out of the arena, Todoroki would have created a wall of ice right behind himself in the nick of time. This, of course, saving him from being sent flying out of the arena. And whenever he did that, Deku would have said, "Hey Todoroki, I have a question for you. Your quirk is a half and half, right? Half hot, half cold. But you only ever use your cold side. Where is your other half?" Todoroki, after hearing that, he would have said, "I will not use my fire side. I will not use my left side. I will never accept his power." Deku, after hearing that, would have simply say, "So you're handicapping yourself. Fine." As Deku would have dropped his sword made of darkness, it just disappearing. Him continuing to say, "Since you are handicapping yourself, let's make it fair. I will not use my full counter or my darkness. I will only use the power I just awakened." As Deku's left eye would start to glow, with a symbol appearing on that eye. Todoroki, seeing that, he would have fired a wave of ice towards Deku, him saying, "Don't be a fool, Midoriya." Deku, hearing that and, well, seeing that wave of ice, he would have said, "Who, me? I'm not the fool here, Todoroki." Him raising his hand towards Todoroki and using arc, as multiple light particles would have appeared right in front of the ice, with the ice being exploded by the light particles. And while Deku is exploding the ice, Todoroki would have ran, him running across the arena and going to the opposite side, as he would have fired another wave of ice towards Deku, with Deku having to turn around and use arc again. This happening over and over and over again, with Todoroki firing ice at Deku and Deku firing light particles at Todoroki. And after, let's say, 2 minutes of this happening over and over again, Todoroki is a lot slower than usual, him also noticing that he himself is beginning to basically get tired. Deku thinking, "Seriously, doing this over and over again is really tiresome. I need to end this quickly." But whenever Deku was thinking about that, Todoroki would have fired another wave of ice towards Deku. Deku, seeing that, would have charged up arc in both of his hands, him putting them on the ground as he would have said, "Full power, radiant explosion." And whenever Deku said that, that was when multiple light particles would have appeared all around the arena, them exploding simultaneously, with Todoroki, of course, being caught in the explosion. Now, after all of the light particles exploded, Deku would have stood back up and say, "Did you really think you can defeat me by only using half of your full strength, Todoroki?" With Todoroki being on his back, he would have slowly gotten back up, and whenever he did, he would have basically told Deku about his, well, backstory. Deku, after hearing that, he would have simply say, "Seriously? That is the reason you didn't use your full strength? God, you're stupid. Your quirk is called half hot, half cold, not hell flame. It doesn't matter if it came from your father or whatever. What matters is that in this entire world, there's only one quirk that's called half hot, half cold, and that quirk is yours. So stop whining and use your full strength, Todoroki, because if you don't, you are definitely not going to win this sports festival." Todoroki, after hearing that, he would have had a bit of flashback, as his left side, or should I say his far side, would have sparked with flames. Him saying, "Fine, but don't blame me if you get hurt, Midoriya." Deku, hearing that, would have said, "Finally," as he would have exploded with darkness, him having his demon mark appear on his forehead. As the final clash between Deku and Todoroki would have began, with Todoroki firing a block of ice straight at Deku, and by a block I mean multiple pillars of ice, as Deku would have simply covered his arms in darkness, him rushing in and punching the ice as hard as he can. It basically being obliterated by Deku. As Deku, using his other hand, he would have charged up a blast of Hellblaze. Todoroki, seeing that Deku just basically obliterated his ice, he would have also charged up his fire, them firing their, well, blasts at each other at the same time. And whenever those two blasts collides, they would have created a giant explosion, with the explosion creating a lot of smoke covering the entire arena. As whenever the smoke starts to disappear, Todoroki would have saw that Deku is walking straight towards him. But before he can do anything else, Deku would have appeared right in front of him. Him saying, "Sorry about this, Todoroki." Todoroki being confused as he would have been hit in the gut. Him being sent flying towards the wall, and of course out of the arena. Now, whenever the smoke disappears, Midnight would have saw that Deku is the only one standing inside the arena, her announcing that Deku is the winner. And after that, Todoroki would have been brought to the recovery room. As for the rest of the quarterfinals, they would have been mostly the same. The only difference is that Ida is fighting Dahlia, which Dahlia would have won, since she can basically control the ground where Ida is running on. So yeah, Ida lost. As it would be time for the semifinals, which the first fight is Deku versus Dahlia. And whenever Deku is going to the waiting room, that was when he would have noticed that everything just turned black and white, him hearing a familiar voice. Now that will be the end of this video. I hope you guys enjoyed. If you did, please like, comment, and subscribe. They'll be amazing, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye!